that was painful to watch, wasn't it? A 2-0 win through to the next round of the FA Cup. Newport County or Eastleigh to come next, another away game. And that's okay. I mean, we accept that. But it wasn't the best performance. We are not clinical enough. We certainly cannot score goals. And we have problems. With players returning, that doesn't mean we are going to start performing well and start scoring goals left, right, and center and start running through teams. I still think there's quite a few issues with the way we're trying to play, with the way Ten Hag is trying to set up. But the headline will show that we won. And a lot of people will look at the positives of that. Delo having a good performance, Garnacho being seen as a vintage Ronaldo performance on the right hand side. I'm going to be speaking about Kobbie Mainoo, who I feel was man of the match, as you see in the thumbnail. Such a special player. We have transfer news as well. But you know what we do when we are here talking about Man United. And Wigan wasn't the best team to face. And they could have gone in the lead. Onana made a very crucial save. There was another opportunity they got after that in the 30th minute. But they weren't threatening us the way people thought that they would. We were quite comfortable. We dominated possession. We were good on the ball, but we simply cannot finish. 33 shots. The likes of Garnacho and Rashford not choosing to pass to Hoyland or cross the ball into him. When the ball was crossed into him, he missed a couple chances. Maybe should have scored 2 at least out of the 3 that he got. But the goals will come. McTominay again going missing in midfield and somehow finds himself in the box, taking a chance of Hoyland in my opinion and missing the target. We are not clinical enough. And if it was against better opposition, we probably might have drawn that game. Probably would have conceded a few goals against a much better team. We've seen that this season. But we take the win. Bruno got the penalty in the second half. You know, he took it, scored it. A lot of people saying it's not a penalty, but let's be real, there was contact. And he sent the defender the wrong way and managed to get a penalty. And it is a penalty, especially in today's day and age where you look at how penalties are being given. But we simply cannot play that poorly in attack against other teams. We play Spurs on the weekend. They signed Timo Werner. They just signed Dragusin, which is a 21-year-old centre-back. And they seem to be making moves going forward. We, of course, know our situation. It's a gym in Ineos and the type of structure that needs to be put in place before any type of forward thinking can be done with regards to transfers. We'll speak later on in the video about transfer news with regards to the likes of Pelistri, Hannibal, Sancho, Martial. But Kobbie Mainoo will be saving us millions in the future. He has such a high ceiling. I could go even further and say that there is no ceiling because he can be whatever he wants to be. He is a pure, complete midfielder already at 18 years old. Interceptions, blocks, winning duels, winning balls in the air, screening the defense, playing balls forward, carrying the ball, dribbling. There's so many things that he can do and does it flawlessly. He makes a good decision after good decision. After that mistake against West Ham, it doesn't look like it fazed him. We needed him against Forest and that showed when we lost the game. Had he started, we probably would have won and scored maybe, I'm not sure. But with him being on the pitch, we are a much better footballing team. Ten Hag cannot not play him. And I don't want to hear things about he's tired, he's young. If he's good enough, and we see that he's more than good enough, play him. We need him right now. We don't have these type of players, so play him. Casemiro coming back needs to be the one partnering him in midfield. Now, of course, you have Mason Mount as well, and give that a try. A Mainoo, Mount, and Bruno midfield. Surely, Mount can play as the number 8 with Mainoo behind him playing as a number 6. We've seen him play as a number 6, and he does it excellently. Last night, against Wigan, he certainly did exactly what you would expect of a number 6. There was a moment where McTominay could have played the ball past him, ends up playing it straight into him, and he has to work twice as hard, winning the ball back off 2 players, and he simply puts us on the attack again. Now, that is what you want from a midfielder. There was a moment where a Wigan player rushed into the box and he simply just stepped in front of him and dribbled out of danger. Kobbie Mainoo is a special player. We need to protect him. We certainly cannot have a player like him being burnt out, a player like him being overused. But right now, he needs to be in the team. We are simply a much better footballing team with Kobbie Mainoo in the team. I don't want to see a midfield without him, to be honest, for the rest of the season, unless he's injured or we may be resting him in terms of playing Casemiro with a Mount and Bruno. We certainly cannot play Eriksen with Mount and Bruno. That's a fact. So Kobbie Mainoo is the player right now. Now we see why Ten Hag, after the Carabao Cup final last season, spoke to him at the end of the game, even though he didn't play. We know now why Ten Hag was integrating him into pre-season and he got injured. Where would we have been if he was playing in the team from the very beginning of the season? I'm sure our midfield would not have been ran through game after game if he was playing. Because look what happens when he does play. We don't have players just running through our midfield. There isn't a gaping hole in midfield for players to exploit because he's there, positioning himself correctly, intercepting, tackling, winning duels. And when we have the ball, he's dictating play, controlling the game, showing a very good tempo, speeding it up, slowing it down, allowing us to have control of the game. The last time we saw someone do that in our midfield was Michael Carrick. Now, I'm not saying that Kobbie Mainoo is going to be a Michael Carrick, but he certainly has those attributes and can be more than that. Everybody raves about a Jude Bellingham. There's Kobbie Mainoo. We don't need a Jude Bellingham. We've got Kobbie Mainoo. Chelsea went to go spend almost 200 million on a midfield with Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez. We got an 18-year-old for nothing from our academy that is absolutely better than the two of them. So Kobbie Mainoo needs to remain in the starting 11 going forward. He's proven himself. He's shown that he can be and is an integral part of our team. So definitely needs to play more. And against Spurs, he should be starting. If Casemiro is back, start him next to Casemiro. If not, don't play McTominay next to him. Certainly not. I'd honestly rather see you play Hannibal. I'd rather see you play Mount. Maybe even Eriksen next to Kobbie Mainoo against Spurs. But certainly not McTominay again. I can't understand how this guy plays 90 minutes and he does nothing on the field. He's not scoring goals, he's not passing, he's not tackling, he ain't winning aerial duels. What is he doing? He ain't defending even. So I don't want to see McTominay play again. And with players returning, he should not be getting a game at all, unless again we're resting players or there's an injury. But he should not be playing or starting for Manchester United. That is a fact. I want to move on to the transfer news now, and let's speak about Hannibal and Pelistri, who are both going to seemingly go on loan to the likes of Sevilla, Everton. For Hannibal, he has the options, he has the choices, and PSV are looking to get Pelistri in on loan for the rest of the season. Now, with Hannibal, I feel that this is an opportunity for him to go to a Premier League club in Everton and get a bit of Premier League experience. But if he doesn't crack it at Everton, and if he does and he comes back for pre-season next season, I think he should be looking to be sold, because I don't think he's going to get game time, even if he stays at United for the rest of the season, because the likes of Mountain are returning, and where is he going to get game time? We're playing one game a week. The FA Cup games, Ten Hag will probably look to go strong because it's a tournament that he would want to win, considering it's our only likable source of a trophy this season. So he should be looking to get the loan and most likely be leaving the club. Pelistri is another one. I don't think Ten Hag fancies him. I don't think Ten Hag sees him as a player for the way he wants to play. Hence the reason why he's probably brought Ahmad back in from injury and giving him more game time. Garnacho now also excelling on the right hand side, as we saw in recent games, and probably will start there against Spurs on Sunday. So another player who should look to rather go out on loan and then probably should cash in and have him maybe leave. I would have loved to see him play more, but I think that it's best if we cash in on Pelistri and perhaps try and bring in a player that's better than him, or a player with a higher ceiling, which can be done in the summer transfer window. Sancho's deal is almost done. He's loaned to Borussia Dortmund. That's all to be said about that. Don't really care about him, to be honest. And then Martial, a bit of a conundrum there. Fenerbahce wants him, they want to loan him, but they are looking at his medical record and seeing whether it is viable to bring him in for a 6-month loan, because we know for a fact that when the season ends, Martial's contract will expire and he will no longer be a Man United player. So he needs to be moving on as well. And if we can get the fee for him now in January, then we should be definitely taking it without doubting, regardless of what the amount is. Just sell him, get the money, and we can start moving forward and getting rid of these players that are unwanted by other clubs and not just by us. So we move on to the next round of the FA Cup. Spurs to come next, and that's going to be a much tougher game, and we have to win that game. But we'll speak more about Spurs in the preview. When we do that, click the notification bell so that you know exactly when I do upload videos. Subscribe to the channel, it really does help. I appreciate the love and support. See each other again soon, Red Devils. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching. If you want more content on Manchester United, like, share and subscribe.